Oh boy. You don't want me to finish? Okay, we live, brother. I need to hear you snap on us. Talking about your meat and all that. She yours? You want more? All right, so we was in internet bugging out, tripping. We was in the Bible, right? What chapter we was in? We gonna finish this video. Okay, we gonna have to piece this thing together 1,000 times over. We was in Esther what? I'm gonna have to upload this to YouTube.
Chapter 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we reading about how men thinking he about to be the man that gonna get with all the king's attires, right? You know, knowing he getting lined up by Yahweh, by some about Yahweh, Shai, and Esther. All right, Hadassah. So let's just start it again and read 6 and 1 on down. Yeah, 6 and 1.
Okay. On that night could not the king sleep, and he commanded to bring the book of records of the chronicles, and they were read before the king. And it was found written that Mordecai had told of Bigthana and Teresh, 2 of the king's chamberlains, the keepers of the door, who sought to lay hand on the king Xerxes. And the king said, what honor and dignity hath been done to Mordecai for this? Then said the king's servants that ministered unto him, there is nothing done for him. And the king said, who is in the court? Now Haman was come into the outward court of the king's horse to speak unto the king, to hang Mordecai on the gallows that he had prepared for him. And the king's servant said unto him, behold, Haman standeth in the court. And the king said, let him come in. So Haman came in. And the king said unto him, what shall be done unto the man whom the king delighteth to honor?
Right, what he think is him. Yeah.
Now Haman thought in his heart, to whom would the king delight to do honor more than to myself?
Right. You think it's all about thou, Esau. Read.
And Haman answered the king, for the man whom the king delighteth to honor, let the royal apparel be brought which the king uses to wear, and the horse that the king rideth upon, and the crown royal which is set upon his head.
Sound like a drink, not again.
And let this apparel and horse be delivered to the hand of one of the king's most noble princes, that they may array the man withal whom the king delighteth to honor.
Right.
And bring him on horseback through the street of the city, and proclaim before him, thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delighteth to honor.
Right, so he just know it's going to be about him. Yeah.
Then the king said to Haman, make haste.
Good, all right, I accepted thy petition. Go and make haste, Haman. Yeah.
And take the apparel and the horse.
And the horse.
As thou hast said.
As thou hast said, Haman.
And do even so to Mordecai, that sitteth at the king's gate.
It says the Mordecai to who?
The Jew.
Do all that thou sayest to Mordecai the Jew, Negro.
That sitteth at the king's gate.
Yeah.
Let nothing fail of all that thou hast spoken.
Oh, that man is super sorry. That's it? Yeah.
Then took Haman the apparel and the horse, and arrayed Mordecai, and brought him on horseback through the street of the city, and proclaimed before him, thus shall it be done unto the man whom the king delighteth to honor.
Oh man, that's crazy. Boy, both sides great. Read.
And Mordecai came again to the king's gate, but Haman hasted to his house mourning.
Esau, there go Esau again. Going back to Genesis 27, bitter cry, right? Straight sucker, man. You know what I mean? Crying. Yeah.
And having his head covered, and Haman told Zeresh his wife, and all his friends everything that had befallen him. Then said his wise men and Zeresh, his wife, unto him, if Mordecai be of the seed of the Jews.
What verse we in?
Or 13.
Mm-hmm.
Before whom thou hast begun to fall, thou shalt not prevail against
Wow, she prophesying against this Negro. Read it again from the top. 12,
and Aman,
13.
13. And Aman told Zeresh his wife and all his friends everything that had befallen him. Then said his wise men and Zeresh his wife unto him.
All of them, yeah.
If Mordecai be of the seed of Jews.
Spiritual Jew.
Of the seed of the Jews.
Anybody can be a Jew.
Seed of the Jews.
Seed. Only way you can be a Israelite of the seed of the Jews. You cannot be a Benjamin unless you came through the seed of the Jews. Right there. Yeah.
Before whom thou hast begun to fall, thou shalt not prevail against him, but shalt surely fall before him.
You better stop messing with Mordecai. You better stop messing with him. You gonna fall. You falling already. Go ahead.
And while they were yet talking with him, came the king's chamberlain.
While he's yet talking, the chamberlain's coming. Yeah.
And hasted to bring Aman unto the banquet that Esther had prepared.
Damn, everything going down with this man at one time. Bow, bow, bow. Let's go. That man about to be hawk smash, Esau. Yeah.
Esther 7, verse 1. So the king and Haman came to the banquet with Esther the queen. And the king said unto, and the king, Salakia, and the king said again unto Esther on the second day at the banquet of wine, what is thy petition, Queen Esther? And it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request? And it shall be performed, even to the half of the kingdom.
Damn! Even half of the kingdom. That man can give up half his kingdom for Esther. Yeah.
Then Esther the queen answered and said, if I have found favor in thy sight, O king.
O king.
And if it please the king, let my life be given me at my petition, and my people at my request.
Somebody about to get it. Yeah, read.
For we are sold, I and my people.
Shalom, Prince. Yeah.
To be destroyed, to be slain, and to be perished.
Yeah.
We had been sold for bondmen and bondwomen. I had held my tongue, although the enemy could not countervail the king's damage.
For we are sold, I and my people, to be destroyed. See? Right? Get that money up for them, right? To be slain and to perish. But if we have been sold for slave men and slave women, I had held my tongue, right? You know what I'm saying? We being sold as slaves like we sold for slaves. Okay, we already in captivity, we know that. Right? But now this nigga trying to kill us. And he said, I held my tongue. Although the enemy could not countervail the king's damage, read.
Then the king Xerxes answered and said unto Esther the queen, Who is
he? Who is this nigga you talking about?
And where is he that durst presume in his heart to do so?
Oh, who did think he could do this to my queen? See, that woman, boy, woo, she can set a fire under a nigga's ass. Yeah.
And Esther said, the adversary.
Who?
The adversary.
Hashatan, yeah.
An enemy.
What is he?
An enemy.
So this white man, Hamani talking about is the adversary and an enemy. And he's wicked. What?
Is this wicked Haman?
Wicked Haman, the Agite. Yeah.
Then Haman was afraid before the king and the queen.
Oh, that man sitting there like this. It is. That man is in a predicament, boy. He done gave all Mordecai, all the king's apparel and every damn thing. Now he got called up before the king and the queen. Hawk smash. Read.
And the king arising from the banquet of wine in his wrath.
That nigga, you know he got the wine going on in him too, boy. He got the wine going in. Yeah.
Garden.
Right, went to the palace garden. He was steamed. Yeah.
And Haman stood up to make request for his life to Esther the queen.
He up there begging now, begging Haman, huh? Now you in a pickle now. Before you was the man, homie. What the hell happened to you? Now you about to be hawk smashed, okay? You want to try to kill us. You want to try to come against the chosen people of the Most High, man, right? Try to set pit traps and snares for us, right? Like the feeble one stolen damn lessons, okay? You see what I'm saying? Right? And the Most High damn about to finish you, boy. You know what I mean? Same thing with you Edomites right now. You trying all your best to sow discord amongst Israel, every damn thing, but it ain't going to work, all right? Hallelujah. Read.
For he saw that there was evil determined against
him. Yeah, that man knew he knew he about to be hawk smashed. He's like, oh shit, oh no, my plot is turned upon me, right? Reap what thou sowest. He digged the pit and digged it, and has fallen in the pit which he made. That's Psalm 7. And what I said, 15, it says, the Most High, here you go, verse 10, Psalm 7 and 10. My defense is of Yahweh, which saveth the upright in heart. The Most High judges the righteous, which is Israel, and the Most High is angry with the wicked, Haman, and the Edomites every day. If he turn not, he will whet his sword. He had bent his bow and made it ready. We are also prepared for him the instruments of death. What the Haman pick made? He made the gallows. He prepared the gallows for himself. He ordained his arrows against the persecutors. Behold, he travailed with iniquity and conceived mischief. Didn't she call him mischievous? And brought forth falsehood, right? He made a pit and digged it, and is fallen into the ditch which he made. His mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing, he brought violence against Israel, shall come upon his own pate. This was about to happen to Haman, right? This was about to happen to the Lau. Go ahead. Let read it.
Then the king returned out of the palace garden into the place of the banquet of wine. Mm-hmm. And Haman was fallen upon the bed.
Oh, my man is really digging himself in the pit. That man is about to totally be done now. Yeah.
Then said the king.
They almost sound like somebody. Yeah.
Then said the king.
What verse you in?
8.
6 and 8?
Yes.
Okay.
7 and 8.
7 and 8, yeah.
Will he force the queen also before me in the house?
That man trying to rape my wife too now? Huh? You trying to take my kubah? What the hell is wrong with this damn heathen? This thing going on. Yeah.
As the word went out of the king's mouth, they covered Haman's face.
so the damn guards came in there and put the damn sheet over his damn head. Wow. You know what I'm saying? He going in begging for his life all the way to the bed. Came in there and came like, what this nigga doing? Damn devil, guy. You can imagine how he feeling though. Can you just imagine? Like, I like to imagine like all this little mischief he was doing and everything is turning on him and nothing he can do. There's nothing he can do. It's just like everything is happening. Bow, 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 bow. He's like, what the hell? I'm thinking I'm the man that's gonna be parading around the kingdom with the king's crown and the power and chariot and praise, and I gotta give it to the man I hate that I plotted against, and then my own family and my own wife and my own boys told me if you keep messing with Mordecai, nigga, you gonna be hawk smashed. As soon as you talk to, they tell you that. Then you are declared that you are sent to come before the king and the queen, and the queen has to expose his lie. And then you start trying to beg for your life, and you get caught on the bed. That man is finished. Yeah. Huh? Oh yeah, with her prayer. Right, well, that's the prayer, right? Where's that at? Let me go back to that prayer. Oh yeah. Get that on part. Where's that at? Yeah, on first, that's the 14th chapter. Where is that? Is it 11? O Lord, give not thy scepter unto them that be nothing. Esau is a nothing people, and let them not laugh at our fall, but turn their devices upon themselves, and make him an example that had begun this against us. Hallelujah. Our prayer was answered, baby. Oh, smash. Read. Yeah, you still in 7, right?
Yes,
Nope.
7 verse 9.
Yeah.
And Harbona, one of the chamberlains, said before the king, behold also the gallows 50 cubits high.
Yo, there's somebody else came and said, King, you know there's some gallows up there 50 feet high. 50 feet high. Everything going down on the man down. The man is in a nightmare and he won't wake up. The man is in a nightmare, he finished. Oh man. But man came out of nowhere, and Harbonah, one of the chamberlains, said before the king,
behold also the gallows 50 cubits high, which Haman had made for Mordecai, who had spoken good for the king.
Thank you.
Standeth in the house of Haman.
That's right.
And the king said, hang him thereon.
The man built his own damn death chamber. It fell upon him. And then literally, boom, fell upon him. Yeah.
So they hanged Haman.
Then they hung Esau. Hanged Esau worlds. Yeah.
On the gallows.
On the gallows.
That he had prepared for Mordecai.
That's right.
Then was the king's wrath pacified.
Then was the king's wrath pacified. He was feeling good. He felt better because this nigga trying to force my wife, every damn thing. Nigga trying to kill my wife. Then he was plotting against my wife and everything. Now he gonna try to force her and get some block every damn thing. Oh, nigga, you gone. You gone. It's over now. Chapter 8. All right, we're in chapter 8. All right. Read that.
Chapter 8, verse 1. Esther chapter 8, verse 1. On that day did the king Xerxes give the house of Haman, the Jews' enemy, unto Esther the queen.
Right. So he had finished him, took his house and gave it to Esther.
And Mordecai came before the king, for Esther had told what he was unto her.
Right. So Esther said, that's my uncle. That's my daddy. That's my pops. That's my pops. He raised me. Yeah.
And the king took off his ring.
The king did what?
Took off his ring.
Yeah.
Which he had taken from Haman.
Give me that goddamn ring back, Haman. You're about to be Hulk smash, read.
And gave it unto Mordecai.
Yeah.
And Esther set Mordecai over the house of Haman.
Right, because the Most High said that all the wealth of the wicked is going to be turned on to us. Right? So it's going to be given to us. The kingdom is going to be given to us. Right? The saints should take the kingdom. Right? You see what I'm saying? And the Gentiles should bring the forces of their wealth up into our gates. Yeah.
And Esther spake yet again before the king, and fell down at his feet, and besought him with tears to put away.
She's still working him. She's still working this man. You see how you women supposed to be working these goddamn heathens in defense of your men? You see that? You're supposed to be working these damn Gentiles and heathens, man. You see what I'm saying? And benefit of the nation of Israel, for the men of Israel. She's working this nigga. Yeah. Shalom, Judah.
And besought him with tears to put away the mischief of Haman the Agagite.
Right? Put away the mischief of Haman the Agagite. Yeah.
And his device that he had devised against the Jews.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then the king held out the golden scepter.
Woo! Held out the golden scepter towards who?
Esther.
Esther, Hadassah. Huh? How about that? Yeah.
So Esther arose and stood before the king.
Mm-hmm.
And said, if it please the king, and if I have found favor in his sight, and the thing seem right before the king, and I be pleasing in his eyes, let it be written to reverse the words devised by Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite.
We're going to reverse these words that he said about what he wanted to do to the children of Israel. Huh? Let's get it.
which he wrote to destroy the Jews which are in all the king's provinces.
From Ethiopia all the way into Pakistan and India. Okay? Yeah.
How can I endure to see the evil that shall come unto my people?
Right, because that decree is still around. That one is still out there. That decree ain't go nowhere as yet. Yeah.
Or how can I endure to see the destruction of my kindred?
Right, it's the destruction of my kindred. So she in position to help our people, man. Yeah.
Then the king Xerxes said unto Esther, the queen, and to Mordecai the Jew, behold, I have given Esther the house of Haman.
That's right.
And him they has hanged upon the gallows.
That's right.
Because he laid his hand upon the Jews.
That's right. That's right.
Write ye also for the Jews as it liketh you in the king's name, and seal it with the king's ring.
Bring it out.
For the writing which is written in the king's name and sealed with the king's ring may no man reverse. That's
right. No man reverse. Boy, it's going down. Yeah.
Then were the king's scribes called at the time in the 3rd month, that is the month Sivan, on the 23rd day thereof. And it was written according to all that Mordecai commanded unto the Jews, and to the lieutenants, and the deputies, and rulers of the provinces, which are from India unto Ethiopia. And 127 provinces, unto every province according to the writing thereof, and unto every people after their language, and to the Jews according to their writing, and according to their language.
Right.
And he wrote in the king Xerxes' name, and sealed it with the king's ring, and sent letters by post or horseback.
Right, so they had the post office back then, huh?
And riders on mules, camels, and young.
They got they got out the cavalry to go and get this thing published out there. Okay, they got everybody on this. Yeah.
Wherein the king granted the Jews which were in every city to gather themselves together and to stand for their life, to destroy, to slay, and to cause to perish all the power of the people's province that would assault them, both little ones and women, and to take the spoil of them for a
So
prey.
you're telling me the king gave power through the spirit of Yahweh because he said, I rule in the kingdom of men, and caused all this, in which King Xerxes gave the Israelites power and authority to kill their enemies. Wow. Wow. That's wow. That's wow. Yeah.
Upon one day in all the provinces of King Xerxes, namely upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month of Adar. The copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people.
Where we at right now?
Verse 13.
Chapter 8:13?
Yes.
Okay, so upon one day in all the provinces of King Xerxes, namely upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month Adar, the copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, and that the Jews should be ready against that day to avenge themselves on their enemies, which is all these heathens. So the post that rode upon mules and camels went out, being hastened and pressed on by the king's commandment, and declared was given at Shushan, the palace. Go ahead.
And Mordecai went out from the presence of the king in royal apparel of blue and white, and with a great crown.
Oh, stop right there. Hold on, right there. Stop right there. So we're going to read we're going to go in Apocrypha and read the rest of Esther, chapter 16. Okay? Right. So we're going to read
chapter 16.
Yeah, chapter 16. So the post that rode upon the mules, and they were talking about this post, a copy of the post and all that stuff like that. Right?
this is how you piecing it
together.
together.
Piecing together. See right here, chapter 8. See, placed in the Greek after chapter 8, verse 12 of the Hebrew.
Okay.
Right? So I'm going to put it right here. Well, okay, so let's read from 12. All right, so we'll post this chapter 16 in the rest of Esther at 12, the ending of 12. So 8 and 12. So now read chapter 16 and the rest of Esther.
Okay. Chapter 6, Esther in the Apocrypha, chapter 16, verse 1. The great King Xerxes unto the princes and governors of 127 provinces from India unto Ethiopia, and unto all our faithful subjects, greeting. Many, the more often they are honored with the great bounty of their gracious princes, and more proud they are waxen, and endeavor to hurt not our subjects only, but not being able to bear abundance, do take in hand to practice also against those that do them good, and take not only thankfulness away from among men, but also lift it up with the glorious words of lewd persons that were never good. They think to escape the justice of the Most High.
Wow, this is so deep, man. Let me take my time because I was just making sure when I'm reading in 8 and 11, it says, when the king granted the Jews which were in the city to gather themselves together and stand for their life to destroy, to slay, and to cause to perish all the powers of the people in province that were assault them, both little ones and women, and to take the spoils of them for a prey. The great King Xerxes, unto the princes and governors of the 120 provinces from India, unto Ethiopia, and unto all faithful subjects, greeting. Mainly, the more often they are honored with the great honor of their gracious princes, the more proud they are waxen, and endeavor to hunt not our subjects only, but not being able to bear abundance and take in hand to practice also against those that do them good. See that? So read 4. You was reading 4? You was on 4? All right, yeah.
And take not only thankfulness away from among men, but also lift it up with the glorious words of lewd persons.
Lewd persons, yeah.
That were never good.
They was what?
Never good.
These Edomites what?
Never good.
The Agagites, the Macedonians is what?
Never good.
We're gonna find out who Ammon is, if you don't already know. Yeah.
They think to escape the justice of the Most High.
What the white man think he's gonna do?
Escape the justice of the Most High.
Esau think he's gonna do what?
Escape the justice of the Most High.
Yeah, that's what they think. They're gonna escape, right? Yeah.
All things and hateth evil.
Right, the Most High hateth the evil and hate evil. Read.
Oftentimes also fair speech of those that are put in trust to manage their friends' affairs hath caused many that are in authority to be partakers of innocent blood, and hath enwrapped them in remediless calamities.
Right, so the smooth words, you see what I'm saying? Right, and lead with people to go against the children of Israel. Okay, yeah.
Beguiling with the falsehood.
Beguiling, tricking. That's what these heathens do. Go ahead.
Beguiling with the falsehood and deceit of their lewd disposition, the innocency and goodness of princes.
Yeah.
Now ye may see this, as we have declared, not so much by ancient histories.
Ancient histories, go ahead.
As ye may, if ye search what hath been wickedly done of late through the pestilent behavior of them that were unworthily placed in authority.
These damn Edomites have always been there in the midst of our demise, from Babylon, no matter what, man. Okay, from when the Edomite, which was an Agite, okay, that rose up after Solomon. Okay, that was another Edomite that rose up and became an enemy. Okay, we get that too. You see what I'm saying? These people have been there all the time. And what the Most High told Saul, we read that early, to kill this damn Agite. You see what I'm saying? Which we didn't want to do. right? You're going to find out some Mosai is so great. And guess what? Edomite of that same tribe is the one that took responsibility for killing Saul. How about that? You see that? Because he didn't obey the commandments of the king, of the Mosai Yahweh. Yeah.
And we must take care for the time to come, that our kingdom may be quiet and peaceable for all men.
See, so now Esau is the one that was trying to make him be against the Jews. Because even in the history I was reading earlier, how Cyrus was called anointed and how he allowed the people not to be slaves. Remember, she said, we'd been put as slaves during that time. You know what I'm saying? But they wasn't sold as slaves. It was in captivity when the Persian Medes conquered over Babylon. And he freed them out of Babylon. You see what I'm saying? So this devil who was there rejoicing over our fall during Babylon was trying to damn destroy us in the Persian Mede Empire. And then when you find, ironically, they came back in power during the Greeks. How about that? You see that? Go ahead.
Both by changing our purposes and always judging things that are evident with more equal proceeding. Verse 10. For a man, a Macedonian.
A what?
A Macedonian.
A who?
A Macedonian.
What verse you in? Wait a minute.
Verse 10.
A man is a Macedonian. Yeah.
The son of Amminadab.
A son of Amminadab. Yeah.
Being indeed a stranger from the Persian blood.
He was not a Persian. Yeah.
And far distant from our goodness, and as a stranger received of us.
Now, hold up. When we go to the Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 1, let's see if he's related to Alexander the Great.
Mm-hmm.
Can we see that? First Maccabees, chapter 1 and 1. You don't got it? Maccabees 1 and 1? Yeah, bring it. All right, and it happened after that Alexander, the son of Philip, the Macedonian. Philip is the father of Alexander. There was Macedonians who came out the land of Shittim and smitten Darius, king of the Persian and Medes, right? Okay, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. So who was Alexander the Great? Who are the Greeks? European white people. Who was Hagar? Who was Ammon? A Macedonian, an Edomite. And let's go back to we even saw what it showed he was an Agite. Let's see what Agites. Okay. Let's see that. And when you jump back over here, when you jump over here to 1 Kings, go to 1 Kings 11 and read verse 14. Mm-hmm. 1 Kings 11. Let me get also go to 2 Kings, 1 Samuel. Let's talk about Saul last.
1 Kings 11 and verse.
Hold on one second. Let me get 1 Samuel right quick. Let me see. Where was that? Well, go up some more. You read that in 1 Kings. Read that in 1 Kings while I look for this.
1 Kings chapter 11 verse.
1 Kings 11 and 14, I think it is.
And 14.
Yeah, I'll show you all these. Yeah.
And the Most High stirred up an adversary unto Solomon, Hadad the Edomite. He was the king's seed in Edom. For it came to pass when David was in Edom, and Joab, the captain of the boast, was gone up to bury the slain after he had smitten every male in Edom. For 6 months did Joab remain there with all Israel until he had cut off every male in Edom. That Hadad fled, he and certain Edomites of his father's servants with him, to go into Egypt, Hadad being yet a little child.
Hadad. Let me look up that name. All right. Hadad. Look it up in the blue letter right quick. Because I'm trying to find this thing right here. Look up his name on Hadad. Look up who that is. It should tell you his lineage. Yeah. On there. I'm trying to look up this thing here. I'm going off. I'm going off. Yeah, I went way off.
I'm looking up Hadad.
Amalek. Huh? Right. Sammy the Israelite.
That's the name of an idol, one of several kings of Edom.
One of 7 kings of who?
Several kings of Edom.
Right. So that's an Edomite name. Okay. Yeah. What else is there?
Foreign origin.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
All right. Go back to the story, and I'm gonna find what I need to find. Go back to Esther. We was reading that. I can't find what I need to find right now.
This is Esther, verse 16 in the Apocrypha, verse 8. And we must take care for the time to come that our kingdom may be quiet and peaceable for all men, both by changing our purposes and always judging things that are evident with more equal proceedings.
Mm-hmm.
For Ammon, a Macedonian, the son
What is he, a Macedonian?
A Macedonian, the son of Amadadah, being indeed a stranger from the Persian blood and far distant from our goodness, and as a stranger received of us. Verse 11, had so far forth obtained the favor that we show toward every nation, as that we was called our father.
See, that's what Cyrus was doing, and this man turned his spirit to do something different.
And was continually honored of all the next person unto the king. Verse 12, but he, not bearing his great dignity, went about to deprive us all, us of our kingdom and life, having by manifold and cunning deceits sought of us the destruction, as well of Mordecai, who saved our life and continually procured our good, as also of blameless Esther, partaker of our kingdom, with their whole nation. For by these means he thought, finding us destitute of friends, to have translated the kingdom of the Persians to the Macedonians. Verse 15.
They translate the kingdom to the Persians to the
Macedonians.
I'm saying.
Verse 15. But we find that the Jews, whom this wicked wretch hath delivered to utter destruction, are no evildoers, but live by most just laws, and that they be children of the Most High and most mighty living God, who hath ordered the kingdom both unto us and to our progenitors in the most excellent manner. Verse 17. Wherefore ye shall do well not to put in execution the letter sent unto you by Aman, the son of Amminadab. For he that was the worker of these things is hanged at the gates of Susa with all his family. The Most High who ruleth all things, speedily rendering vengeance to him according to his deserts. Therefore ye shall publish the copy of this letter in all places, that the Jews may freely live after their own laws. And ye shall aid them, that even the same day, being the 13th day of the 12th month of Dar, they may be avenged on them, who in the time of their affliction shall set upon them. Verse 21, for almighty powers have turned to joy unto them the day wherein the chosen people should have perished.
Let me read this right here, right? The term Agai is used in the book of Esdras, a description of Haman. The term is understood to be an I gotta look at that word up, is a name applied to a given ethnic group, right? Can be divided into two categories. So it's a name given to a certain ethnic group, right? The term is understood to be belong to a certain ethnic group, although nothing is known with certainty about the people designated by the name lies. According to Chin and Black, the term is used to label Haman figuratively as a descendant of Agai, right? The enemy of Israel, the king of the Amalekites. Haman as an Amalekite is opposed to Mordecai, descendant of Kish. Okay, which no, he's a Benjamite going off. The meaning is that there is an inter-scene struggle between the Jews and their enemies, like that between Saul and who? Agag of old, a well-known biblical exegesis, the ancient Judaic authority using model, whatever. Explanation of the term relates to King Agag of the Amalekites, whereby it's viewed as meaning either a literal descendant of Agag or an anti-Semitic, that's BS. Okay, the Amalekites having come to be the symbolic of the antitheisms of Judaism. So to let you know that this guy is a fucking Edomite, Esau. Okay, that was the descendant of that king, right? That Saul wouldn't kill. All of them is the same people, Amalek. Okay, the Macedonian Esau of the white man. Okay, so when the people want to try to make, and I could do a straight breakdown just on that, you know what I'm saying? Let's piece it together, you know what I mean? But this man named Ammon, is a descendant of Amalek. Okay, he's Amalek. Even when you look up Agai here in the Strong's H89, Agai, I will overtop. Wasn't he trying to do that? I will overtop king of Amalek. Spared by Saul, but slain by Samuel. Okay? It says Amalek kings, Agag. So it's ironic. This same guy over here is doing the same damn thing. Okay? And the Most High, and that same guy, and another Amalek, that remember the Amalek guy took credit for Saul's death. Right? Right? So what verse you was in? You was in chapter what? You in the Bible? Okay.
No, I'm sorry. Apocrypha.
Okay. What verse?
The Apocrypha, chapter 16.
Mm-hmm. Did you finish it?
Verse 22.
Okay, get it.
Ye shall therefore among your solemn feasts keep it an high day with all feastings.
So jump back to 17. Start with 15.
Verse 15. But we find that the Jews, whom this wicked wretch have delivered to utter destruction, are no evildoers, but live by most just laws. Mm-hmm. And that they be children of the Most High and most mighty living God, who have ordered the kingdom both unto us and to our progenitors in the most excellent manner. Right. Over here it says, who are the Amalekites in the Bible? Amalek is the Hebrew Bible. According to the Bible, Amalek was the son of Eliphaz himself, the son of Esau, ancestor of Edomites, and Eliphaz concubine Timnah. Timnah was a Horite sister of Lotan. All of this
is in the context where Agag, okay, is a northwestern Semitic name or title applied to a biblical king. It has been suggested that Agag was a dynastic name of the kings of Amalek, just as Pharaoh was used as dynastic name for the ancient Egyptians. So this guy was an Edomite, period. Okay? And when you say who killed Saul? Yeah. And I'm gonna get that right now in a minute. Yeah.
Verse 17, wherefore ye shall do well not to put in execution the letters sent unto you by Aman, the son of Amminadab. For he that was the worker of these things is hanged at the gates of Susa with all his family. He hanged all his family?
Yeah. What is that? What is that? Read it again.
For he that was the worker of these things is hanged at the gates of Susa with all his family.
Took his wives, children, everything. Finished them. Hawk smash.
The Most High who rules all things, speedily rendering vengeance to him according to his deserts.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, ye shall publish the copy of this letter in all places, that the Jews may freely live after their own laws.
Huh?
That the Jews may freely live after their own laws.
So we was able to live after our own laws in captivity steals? Huh? For you captivity brews? Huh? Yeah, captivity excuses. Hawk smash. Yeah.
And ye shall aid them, that even the same day, being the 13th day of the 12th month, Adar.
So on the 13th day of the 12th month, we are in the 12th month, but we got brothers that's count the leap year. So there's days that have been added. I believe it's like extra 30 days or something like that. But you know what I'm saying? The brothers keeping the Purim, okay? And this 12th month, they kept it, I think, on 13, around the 15th or early in the week. Or some doing it just during now. Okay, so were we in season? We rehearsing the righteous acts. I know I'm personally not making a big deal of it. So I mean, it is what it is. Yeah.
Who in the time of their affliction shall set upon them? Almighty powers have turned to joy unto them the day wherein the chosen people should have perished. Ye shall therefore among your solemn feasts keep it in high day with all feasting.
So this is another Memorial Day, another feast day that we supposed to keep. Okay, which is called Purim. All right, yeah.
That both now and hereafter there may be safety to us and the well-affected Persians. But to those which do conspire against us, a memorial of destruction.
Yeah.
Therefore, every city and country whatsoever which shall not do according to these things.
Whatever city or country, so we, no matter where we at.
Whatsoever which shall not do according to these things shall be destroyed without mercy with fire and sword.
Wow. Yeah.
And shall be made not only unpassable for men, but also most hateful to wild beasts and fowls forever.
So this is the king. That was the king talking, right? That was the king.
Right.
That was the king declaring this. Let me go back because I left out of it. That was the king. Where's the Esther? Where is it? Rest of us.
16.
Right? Yep, that was the king. Right? So now we go to the Bible because that's the last thing in the Apocrypha, rest of Esther. So it don't sound like a love story how they present it over here. Right? So now we're going to read chapter 8 and start with verse 13. And this was all his words. Yeah, go in the book of Esther. That was all his words.
Chapter 8, verse 1.
Start with the 12th verse and go down from there.
Okay, book of Esther, chapter 8, verse 12. Upon one day in all the provinces of King Xerxes, namely upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month of Adar, the copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, and that the Jews should be ready against that day to avenge themselves on their enemies. So the post that rode upon mules and camels went out, being hastened and pressed on by the king's commandment. And the decree was given at Shushan, the palace. And Mordecai went out from the presence of the king in royal apparel of blue and white, and with all great crowns of gold, and with a garment of fine linen and purple, and the city of Shushan rejoiced.
Stop 1 second. I'm trying to find in 2 Samuel 1 and where it's talking about when Saul was killed by Amalek. Okay, then he took the credit for killing Amalek. That's I'm just gonna quote it. 2 Samuel 1 and verse 8. You read that whole chapter, talking about his Amalekite, right? Took credit for the death of Saul. Most High came back and mocked him because he killed the Agagite king. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So go ahead, finish reading what you were reading.
Mm-hmm. Verse 16, the Jews had light and gladness.
We had light and gladness, right?
And joy and honor.
And joy and honor.
And in every province and in every city, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, the Jews had joy and gladness, a feast and a good day.
And we had a good day, partying, chilling, and we was feeling good. We was about to be Hulk smashed. Right? And our sister, another great sister, all right? So we can't just shoot down the women, man. We can't shoot down the women, or we can't open up a lot of books in the Bible. Okay? Can't just shoot them down. You can't do it. You know what I'm saying? We're reading it. So let's just keep it a buck here. Go ahead.
And many of the people of the land became Jews.
What? After they start seeing the truth of who we are, what happens to these damn people that want to cleave on us? Now everybody want to be an Israelite. Now the truth is coming out. Every damn person on the planet Earth want to be an Israelite. You're going to make everybody an Israelite now. Because they're starting to see the power and the glory of the Most High word. So now you Negroes want to make everybody an Israelite. That's what's going on, man. You want to make everybody a goddamn Israelite. Yeah. For the fear of the Jews fell upon us. Finish reading 9.
Esther, chapter 9, verse 1.
So Purim is a feast and a good day, right? Feasting and joy, being happy, having a good time, celebrating how the Most High always deliver us, man, spectacularly. Okay? And here you see Agai right there in 1 Samuel 15 that Paul didn't want to kill Agai, the Amalekite, which is the same guy. That's his grandfather. That's his grandfather. Yeah.
Now in the 12th month, that is the month of Adar, on the 13th day of the same, when the king's commandment and his decree drew near to be put in execution, in the day that the enemies of the Jews hoped to have power over them, though it was turned to the contrary, that the Jews had rule over them that hated them. The Jews gathered themselves together in their cities throughout all the promises of the king Xerxes to lay hand on such as sought their hurt, and no man could withstand them, for the fear of them fell upon all people. And all the rulers of the provinces and the lieutenants and the deputies and the officers of the king helped the Jews, because the fear of Mordecai fell upon them. For Mordecai was great in the king's house, and his fame went out throughout all the provinces. For this man Mordecai waxed greater and greater. Thus the Jews smote all their enemies with the stroke of the sword, and slaughter and destruction, and did what they would until those that hated them. And in Shushan, the palace the Jews slew and destroyed 500 men.
How many people?
500 men.
Murder, blood upon the shoulder. Yeah.
And Parshandada, and Dalphon, and Aspatha, and Paratha, and Adalia, and Aredatha, and Parmashta, and Arasai, and Aradai, and Vashjezada, the 10 sons of Haman.
Oh, what happened? Finish the 10 sons of his ass? Finish the damn children and everything? What verse we in?
10.
9 and 10? Right? So for Mordecai, so 6, when Mordecai was great in the king's house, and the fame went out throughout all the province. For this man Mordecai waxed greater and greater, thus the Jews smite all their enemies with the stroke of the sword, and slaughtered and destruction, and did what they would unto those that hated them. Huh? Yeah, and in Shushan the palace, the Jews slew and destroyed 500 men, right? And the 10 sons of Haman, the son of the Hamadadah, the sons of Hamadadah, the enemy of the Jews, slew they, but on the spoiled land, they not their hands. See that? You see how ironic that is? This is the same descendant of the Agagite king, the Amalekite king, that the Most High told Saul to kill everything and don't take the spoils. Here we go again. What he did? What they do here? They didn't take the spoils. See that? This time they didn't take the spoils. Hallelujah, man. Both sides great. Both sides great. Better read.
On that day, the number of those that were slain in Shushan, the palace, was brought before the king. And the king said unto Esther, the queen, the Jews have slain and destroyed 500 men in Shushan, the palace, and the 10 sons of Haman. What have they done in the rest of the king's promises? Now, what is thy petition? And it shall be granted thee. Or what is thy request further? And it shall be done. Then said Esther, if it please the king, let it be granted to the Jews which are in Shushan to do tomorrow also according unto this day's decree. And let Haman's 10 sons be hanged upon the gallows.
Hanged upon the gallows. Moses taking his ass out, his sons out, wife out, everything out, children, every damn thing gone. Yeah.
And the king commanded it so to be done. And the decree was given at Shushan. And they hanged Haman's 10 sons.
What they do?
Hanged Haman's 10 sons.
Hallelujah! Hang them! Yeah! Hangman! Kill them! Great!
Gathered themselves together on the 14th day, also of the month of Adar.
So we have the 13th day and the 14th day, right? See what I'm saying? They plotted to destroy us on the 13th day, right? Yeah. And
slew 300 men at Shushan, but on the prey they laid not their hand.
Right, so they ain't took none of them the damn heathen goddamn spoils, the damn Haman stuff. Go ahead.
But the other Jews that were in the king's promises gathered themselves together and stood for their lives and have rest from their enemies and slew of their foes 75,000.
75,000. This king, through the spirit of the Most High, allowed him and allowed us to just go crazy on these people. Wow. Good.
But they laid not their hands on the prey. On the 13th day of the month of Adar, and on the 14th day of the same rested they, and made it a day of feasting and gladness.
It made it a day. See, this like you celebrate 4th of July. What was that? Independence Day. You know what I'm saying? When they got independence from what? Britain, right? You know what I'm saying? It was all about war. All these holidays, you know what I'm saying? Christopher Columbus Day is all about the conquest of them over us. So we have Memorial Days too of our enemies, man. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be doing these things, man. We should be having a giant Purim party. Real talk. We ain't really doing these things like we should be doing it, man. Real talk. Yeah.
Therefore the Jews of the villages that dwelt in the unwalled towns made the 14th day of the month of Adar a day of gladness and feasting, and a good day, and sending portions one to another.
So we giving gifts and all of that on the Purim. Yeah.
And Mordecai wrote these things and sent letters unto all the Jews that were in all the provinces of the king Xerxes, both near and far, to establish this among them, that they should keep the 14th day of the month Adar and the 15th day of the same year.
So the 14th day and the 15th day is when we keep Purim, right? The 13th day is when they wanted to execute us on, and we end up executing their ass.
At the days wherein the Jews rested from their enemies, and the month which was turned unto them from sorrow to joy, and from mourning into a good day, that they should make them days of feastings and joy, and of sending portions one to another, and gifts to the poor.
That's right. Yeah.
And the Jews undertook to do as they had begun, and as Mordecai had written unto them.
That's right.
Because Aman, the son of Hamadadah, and Agagite.
The Agite, there you go. See that? The Agite, right there. Right? So when you look up Agite right there, you link it up with over there, talking about he's a Macedonian. What it says right here? Right here, look right here. Agite, king of Amalek. Got him. Amalek, this king. Got him. So that cuts your goddamn Esau as the Arab. Yeah, totally. Smash. Okay. Matter of fact, let me go right there. What verse that one is in? Esther what? Esther what? What chapter that in? 9. Esther 9. And what verse? 24. All right. 24. I got it. Oh. Let me go right there. That's the what? Page 91. Son of Ammon, the Agite. Right? Agite is Amalek. Period. Descendants of Agite, right there. Descendant of Agite. Agite. Haman, right there. And Esther. They got Josephus. I guess that's a Josephus as well. Should go on to Josephus and get it as well. I'm just going to do a class just on that. You know what I'm saying? Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yeah.
Because Haman, over the top. The Agagite is the enemy of all the Jews.
The enemy of all, no, some of them.
All the Jews.
No, just ISUBK.
All the Jews.
IUIC.
Of all the Jews.
No, not the order of Melchizedek.
All the Jews had devised against the Jews to destroy them, and had cast that is the lot, to consume them.
So no matter what kind of Hebrew you think you are, Negro, when the judgment come down upon us as a nation, your ass is hawk smash right along with everybody else.
Verse 25. But when Esther came before the king, he commanded by letters that his wicked device, which he devised against the Jews, should return upon his own head.
Psalm the 7th chapter. Read.
And that he and his sons should be hanged
on the gallows. He's just singing a song. Yeah.
Wherefore they called these days Purim, after the name of Pur. Therefore, for all the words of this letter and of that which they had seen concerning this matter, and which had come unto them. Verse 27, the Jews ordained and took upon them and upon their seed.
And upon their what?
Seed,
offspring, children. Again.
And upon all such as joined themselves unto them.
So anybody that want to be follow our laws and customs, get.
So as it should not fail, that they would keep these 2 days according to their writing and according to their appointed time every year.
Right. So we're supposed to keep the Purim every year. Yeah.
And that these days should be remembered and kept throughout every generation.
Every generation.
Every family.
Every family.
Every province.
No matter where you at, province.
And every city.
And every city.
And that these days of Purim should not fail from among the Jews.
Yeah.
Nor the memorial of them perish from their seed.
See, nor the memorial that perished from their seed. Hallelujah. Read.
Then Esther the queen, the daughter of Abihail, and Mordecai the Jew, wrote with all authority to confirm this second letter of Purim. And he set the letters unto all the Jews to the 127 provinces.
So all the Jews were scattered throughout all the province, from India all the way down to Ethiopia, Egypt. Yeah.
And 7 provinces of the kingdom of Xerxes with words of peace and truth. Verse 31. To confirm these days of Purim in their times appointed, according to as Mordecai the Jew and Esther the queen had enjoined them, and as they had decreed for themselves and for their seed, the matters of the fastings and their cry.
Mm-hmm.
And the decree of Esther confirmed these matters of Purim, and it was written in the book.
And it was written in the book. Okay, now we in chapter 10. Check it out. Chapter 10. There's only 3 verses, but the rest of the verses is over here in the rest of Esther. Chapter 10.
Esther chapter 10, verse 1. And the king Xerxes laid a tribute upon the land and upon the isles of the sea. And all the acts of his power and of his might, and the declaration of the greatness of Mordecai, whereunto the king advanced him, are they not written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Media and Persia?
So it's written in the chronicles of the kings of the Media and Persia. They got on records in the Persian Empire, in the Media. Persia and Media. That's a Media. Yeah.
For Mordecai the Jew was next unto King Xerxes, and great among the Jews, and accepted the multitude of his brethren, seeking the wealth of his people and speaking peace to all his seed. Okay, and now go to the rest of Esther, part of the 10th chapter after the Greek, and read that. And you notice that Mordecai in the Bible, you got 3 verses, and then in the rest of Esther, it starts with the 4th verse. So they took out these verses. All right. Chapter 10. Rest of Esther. Go to rest of Esther. Chapter 10.
Yeah.
Verse
1. Well, that's verse 4.
Verse 4.
See, because 1, 2, 3.
Continue, yeah.
Yep, and verse 4. That's how you Hulk smash somebody about the Apocrypha too. Yeah.
Then Mordecai said, God hath done these things.
Yahweh
has done these things. For I remember a dream.
See that from the beginning when we first started? In the, chapter 1 of the Hebrews, all the way down here, right? That was when he opened it up with the dream. Now we ending with the dream. Yeah.
For I remember a dream which I saw concerning these matters, and nothing thereof hath failed. A little fountain became a river, and there was light, and the sun, and much water. This river is Esther,
hallelujah,
whom the king married and made queen. And the 2 dragons are I and Ammon. And the nations were those that were assembled to destroy the name of the Jews.
The nations, these heathens, right?
Were assembled to destroy the name of the Jews.
Right, the United Nations. Yeah.
And my nation is this Israel.
And my nation is what?
Israel.
And my nation is this Israel. Yeah.
Which cried to Yahweh and were saved.
And were what?
For the Lord hath saved his people.
Yeah.
And the Lord hath delivered us from all those evils. And God hath wrought signs.
Yahweh hath worked signs.
And great wonders.
Yeah.
Which have not done among the Gentiles.
Which have not been done among the Gentiles. Okay, the Most High works with us and redeem us, read.
Therefore hath he made 2 lots, one for the people of Yahweh, and another for all the Gentiles. So
there's 2 different worlds, 2 lots. One for us and one for the heathen. Yeah.
And these 2 lots came at the hour and time, the day of judgment.
And the day of what?
Judgment.
That's going Matthew 20. That go right now with Matthew 25. All right, 31 on down. Read.
Before Yahweh among all nations.
Among all what?
Nations.
Among all nations. So when you go to Matthew right quick, right? Matthew 25. Matthew 25. Matthew 25 and 31. Matthew 25 and 31. Let me get it. Don't mess up my new Bible. Matthew 25:31. It says, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them two lots, one from another, as the shepherd divided his sheep from the goats. And who's the sheep? The Israelites. And who's the goats? Daniel 8 and 9. So with the first over the king of Greece, which was the Greeks, which is Edomites, was the Macedonians, which are Amalek, Aggites, right? And he should set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come ye blessed of my father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. Okay? So back in that Esther, it says, after these two lots came at 1 hour, verse 11. Yeah.
And these two lots came at the hour and time and day of judgment,
which is coming,
before the Most High among all nations.
Which came then,
So the Most High remembered his people and justified his inheritance.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore those days shall be unto them in the month Adar, the 14th and 15th day of the same month, with an assembly and joy and with gladness before the Most High, according to the generations, forever among his people.
For how long?
Forever.
For how long?
Forever.
For how long?
Forever.
Forever. Okay, all praise and all glory. We had got through, and listen, there's more to the story, because later on, after we had built the temple, right, we had haters came up later on, right, and what it was in Esdras, I think it's Esdras, the 7th chapter, right? You can go read Ezra, the 7th and 8th chapter, when it's talking about Xerxes over there, right? After these, Ezra 7 and 1, after these, in the reign of Azarexes, was Xerxes, king of Persia, Ezra, the son of Sariah, and the son of Azariah, the son of Hilkiah, maybe it's in the 4th chapter. Let me go over to the 4th chapter right quick. Yeah, the Cyrus. No, I think it's 7th chapter, 8th chapter. So they got it all mixed up. Let me go to the 8th chapter. Right, you go to the 8th chapter, you start reading about Xerxes over there. I have the things open over there on that thing. So what I'll do next time, I'll put it all together, because it was talking about Xerxes and how they came to him complaining, right? And then he stopped us from building the temple. I got to get that one. Let me get that one. How would I spell that Xerxes thing? Let me get that. All right. All right. Let me get it for you. Hold on. We read the 7th chapter, the 8th chapter. You have these haters in Ezra, the 4th chapter. Hold on. You have verse 7, 2nd Ezra 4:7. In the days of Xerxes wrote Bishlam, Mithridath, Tabeel, and the rest of their companions on Xerxes, king of Persia, and the writing of the letter was written in Syrian tongue and interpreted in the Syrian tongue. Rehum, the chancellor, and Shimshai, scribe, wrote a letter against Jerusalem to Xerxes, the king, in this sort. Then wrote Rehum, the chancellor, and Shimshai, the scribe, and the rest of their companions the Denites, the Apersites, the Tarpolites, whatever, the Arpolites and the Archavites and the Babylonians and the Susanites, whatever the damn, the Hivites and the Elamites, whatever the damn ites, and the rest of the nations whom the great and noble Asnapper brought over and set in the cities of Samaria, and the rest that are on the side of the river, and as such at a time they all complaining. This is the copy of the letter that was sent unto them, even unto Xerxes the king, the servants, thy servants, the men on the side of the river, and at a such time. Be it known unto the king that the Jews which came up from thee to us are come to Jerusalem, building a rebellious and bad city, and have set up the walls thereof and joined the foundation. Be it known unto the king that if this city be built and the walls set up again, they will not pay toll, tribute, and custom, and so shall thou damage the revenue of the kings. Now, because we have maintenance from the king's palace, and it was not meet for us to see the king's dishonor, therefore we sent and certified the king that search may be made in the book of the records of thy fathers. So shall thou find in the book of records, and know that this city is a rebellious city and hurtful unto the kings and prophets, and that they have moved sedition within the same of old time, for which cause was this city destroyed. We certified the king that if this city be built again and the walls thereof set up, by this means thou shalt have no portion on this side of the river. Then sent the king an answer unto Rehem the chancellor, and to Shimshai the scribe, and to the rest of the companions that dwelt in Samaria, and unto the rest beyond the river, peace. And at a such time, this letter which he sent unto us have been plainly read before me. And I commanded, and search have been made, and it is found that the city of old time had made insurrection against kings, and that rebellion and sedition have been made therein. There have been mighty kings also over Jerusalem, which have ruled over all country beyond the river, and toll and tribute and custom was paid unto them. Talking about our kings. Give ye now commandment to cause these men to cease, that this city be not built, and to another commandment should be given from me. Take heed now that ye fail not to do this, why should damage grow to the hurt of the kings? Now, when the copy of the king's Xerxes letter was read before Rehem and Shimshai the scribe and their companions, they went in haste to Jerusalem unto the Jews, and made them cease by force and power. Then ceased the work of the house of Yahweh, which is at Jerusalem, so it ceased unto the second year of the reign of Darius, king of Persia. You see that? So there's a lot of more history with that, with Zerubbabel and all of this stuff like that. So you have to put all this thing together, you know what I'm saying? But the point is, we were delivered from these Edomites that try to destroy us, to show what is Purim. Well, I hope everybody was able, the few that ready, that was able to get this information. I'm gonna piece it together and put it in one video, because it was getting jacked up all over the place. So all praise and glory. They don't want us to damn celebrate and get this knowledge and information out. Our YouTube channel is shut down again for another 90 days. Oh, man. It's all good. All praise and glory to the Most High. Y'all be good. It's your brother Maharaka, Banyara, Banyashala. I don't know how many hours we did. Sheesh. But we close out the Shabbat. Hallelujah. We out of here. Peace. It's what, 8 o'clock? Dang, 8:33. What time we start? Dang. Hey, it's all good. Shalom, shalom. Be good. We out. Shalom, shalom. Y'all out there on the YouTube. Most are blessed, man. God, all good, all good. Hallelujah, man. Allah Judah still in the building. Hallelujah. So we're going to be over here for another dang 90 days, brother. Oh, man, I'm so bad, man. I don't know what to do, man. It's crazy. But be good. Most are blessed, man. Shalom, hallelujah. We up out of here.